Hello and welcome to the Kenny T One-on-One podcast brought to you by Yatu Tea. Today I'm wearing a Harley Davidson shirt for two reasons. Why? First one, I love the Harley brand. Secondly, I'm a proud owner of a Harley Davidson motorcycle. We'd like to thank you so much for following the Kenny T One-on-One podcast every single week. If you like or love what we do, please drop us a like, drop us that share, because we do this just for you. My guest today is Petersen Zagaze. One leg in the water.
Another one at the fire.
No, you say it correctly.
One leg in the water, another one at the fire.
That's the one. Zagaze, how you doing, man?
Not bad.
It's been a long time. This is the first time I'm sitting and having a conversation with you like this on mic.
Yes.
Yeah, after many years. I've known him for many years.
Yeah.
And I was telling a story earlier that I was in Kitwe a few days ago, and this guy stepped up to me and just said, "But Petersen." And I'm like, no, Sintine Petersen. Ndimo ba Petersen. Others don't even know that you don't have your dreads anymore, I think.
Of course, a lot of people, and what's funny is that I cut the dreads like in 2012.
Yeah.
But I meet a lot of people that still have that picture of me with dreads.
Yeah.
And when I used to have dreads, I used to meet a lot of people that would tell me, Ken. I'm like, yeah.
So when I was in my problems, yes,
me
everywhere I used to go.
The reason why most of the time I used to meet you, I used to say, when I grow up, I want to be like you.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. Why did you cut your locks?
So I think my scalp is very sensitive to heat. So I hated sitting in those dryers at the salon. After they do it, when they put that wax, then you have to sit for it to be, that heat used to just, And then I think as I grew older, I started feeling like it was being heavy for me. I think it was just time.
Also, what people do not realize is that having dreadlocks is a lot of work.
Too much.
Because for my hair to be done, takes about 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know, today, my team was calling me, where are you? Why? Because my hairdresser was at the house.
Yeah.
I had to wake up early.
See?
2-3 hours. And also it's not cheap, it's expensive.
Of course. And even life is expensive. Yeah. I remember one time I was driving to Serenge and then Pakapiri, Patanov. Like, I think I was stopped by the Drug Enforcement Commission officers. They searched my car so bad that I feel like it's the dreads. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. When I say
Chamaningi, everywhere, like I was there for about 10 to 15 minutes. Rasta, matumba, masecha pockets. I'm like, hey.
So you don't smoke any cigarettes? You don't smoke?
No, yes, no cigarettes, no alcohol. So
from the beginning, or nale kachab?
I think when I was in high school, I was a mischievous child, so I drank there.
Navichairatu?
So when I completed school, I stopped drinking. I remember the day I stopped drinking was on the 6th of December 2001. Pakachilenje post office there was a kaba. So I went there, bought 6 bottles of Caso, and that was the last time.
What?
No, because I realized that every time I drank, I would become a person that I wouldn't want to be when I'm sober. So like I wake up in the following day and they're telling me I'm very fearless already in person, in my normal sober state. But when I'm drunk, that would be arrogance and stubborn.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be guy come at in fearless, imagine brave or what. That used to be like you wake up in the morning and you feel like they tell you so like these are things I wouldn't do when I'm
which wasn't good.
Yeah. It wasn't really working for me.
On the aspect of being searched, one time a group of us traveled to a particular country in the United Arab Emirates. So when we arrived at the airport, I remember we landed around 6 o'clock in the morning. There was like 10 of us. When we got off the aircraft, we're going through, passport control, security. Me also, I was singled out. They just came and got me. Yeah. And the searching did not happen there. I had to be taken to a private room. They opened my bags, they checked everything. And I'm sitting and I'm like, I think it's because of my hair.
Yeah, of course.
This stereotyping of people thinking each time someone has dreads, they smoke this, they do.
Yeah.
I think it should stop. So for some people, it's just style.
Yeah. So there's one thing that former President Rupia Banda once told me, may his soul rest in peace. He told me the world is already cruel and sensitive to people's personalities. Mm-hmm. You should create a personality that aligns with what society accepts. It's always good to be unique, but you can't be extreme, or you can't just put yourself in a situation where there are questions about you. Yeah. So, and when he was talking that, he's looking at my hair. So I could feel like he's telling me I need to, it's nothing wrong. You just go chaya kasi wasamba when you do short hair nicely, you wear a suit or a t-shirt, well, you look nice, presentable. Yeah. So there I was like, I'm hearing what you're saying. But for him, who was like a seasoned diplomat, to talk like that, he's not talking from a point of hate.
No, absolutely.
He understood.
It's just proper guidance and probably him thinking of where you want to go. And then also look at the school he's coming from.
Yeah.
Things like dreads, tattoos and whatever. We're not,
In the conversation that would have, you always know this is the person who has something, who has me at best inside him. He thinks for me well.
He wants the best. He wants the best for you.
Of course.
Yeah. Petersen, where were you born?
So that's why I always say what you tell your kids matters most. We're having a conversation with my mom about my young brother who was born in Lusaka at UTH and everything like that. And so I look at my mom, I think I was 8 or 10. I look at him, mom, and said, so Charlie Naima, where was I born?
That's Lozi.
Yeah. Okay. So she looks at me and says, so I think maybe she thought she would make me feel bad, or she was being truthful. She said, oh, you were born in Lusaka at the UTH also. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I've lived my life like that. 2 years ago, I'm in a conversation with my elder sister. She's looking at my documentation and everything. It's like, no, iwe. Onabadula kudiunga kuna mshakende iwe. You understand? So I was born in Lusaka. My sister teases me I was born in Namshakend. So yeah.
So which one is which then?
What is on my documents.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But I know she will always debate that.
So I think we'll be able to ascertain where you're born when we start talking about your education.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I went the rest of my school in Western Province.
Grade 1?
Grade 1 up to the last grade.
Kashisindu wa Lusaka. Ungabadwa ku Lusaka but waboenda ku Changu school.
Yeah, because my mom was at Chalimbana when she
no, it makes sense. Then she went back.
Yeah, she's always been at Chalimbana. Most of us, she had them when she was at Chalimbana.
So how was your life growing up in Western Province?
So my mom was a teacher, and you remember that time around you were a civil servant and UNIP. You had to be UNIP, and it took me to grow up to realize, like, wait a minute. So mom was civil servant and she was that active in politics because UNIP vehicles used to park at our house. Like, for example, in Limulunga, I used to see, like, the 1991 campaign time is very clear in my head because of those keep the flame burning, the t-shirt, the white t-shirt, the caps. Like, I had those.
I remember that that TV ad.
Yeah.
It was very different. Huh? We had not seen anything.
Yes. And for me, the regalia was at home. So every day I was going to go out to play football in a new UNIP t-shirt. I go make it dirty.
Those nice white ones.
Yes, with the flame. It's a white one and with everything. So you play football, it gets dirty, you give to a friend. You know tomorrow you're going to come with another. You just go home shirtless. So I grew up in Western Province up to 1996 when I came to Lusaka. So from grade 1, I studied in Kalabo at a school called Leia, Kalabo Primary School. It's called Leia. And then I went to Limulunga Primary School from grade 2 up to grade 4. Then from grade 4, I think grade 5, I stayed without going to school because mom was sick around that time. It was a crazy time of my life. There were movements from from Slimulunga to Mongo to Lusaka, because she moved with everyone to Lusaka, all my siblings apart from me and my young brother, because they believed we should not see probably mom in that condition because he was very sick for quite a long time. Then they took us to the village to stay with my grandfather. That's in Nalikwanda. So 96 and 96, 95 and 96, when I was in grade 6 and grade 7, I stayed it with my grandfather. So I learned a whole lot of different life there now. From this Mongu boy, Limulunga boy to the village. I learned how to hunt with dogs. I think I'm very good at that.
Oh, is it? What kind of animals were you hunting?
Wazawa. So I can hunt with dogs.
Okay.
I can hunt with dogs for real. I can go in the bush and look for mushroom. Yeah, I can properly set up a cassava field. I learned this when I was 14 years. That's 14, 13 and 14 with my growing up with my grandfather. Then after I wrote my grade 7, I qualified to be at St. John's, which is a school for the Catholic in
Catholic
Mongu.
school, yes.
Yeah, in Mongu. But I came to Lusaka because mom was here now, she was okay and everything. So that's the time I moved to Lusaka. But school, then they got me into boarding and moved me so I was at St. John's for about 2 months. So when mom passed away, just like the second month of grade 8, my relatives and the auntie that adopted us now said I needed to be in a boarding school and like staying at my auntie's place in Mongo again. So that's when they moved me to Sefula Secondary School for the UCZ, like Chipembi girls, Kafiwe boys, Njase girls, for the UCZ. So I moved to Sefula Secondary School. I was there up to the time I wrote my grade 12. So I would be there, holiday, I come back. So there was a switch from a boy that was living with his mom in Imulunga and Mongu, a mom who was a teacher, to go into the village to stay with my grandfather for a period of 2 years, to come to Lusaka and start living with a very comfortable auntie. So from the village to Mayadi, Nyumbayanga was Mayadi.
Yeah, still is.
Yeah, proper Mayadi.
Yeah.
And it was new, and my auntie was and is still very comfortable in life. She's been the chairperson of Zambian Women in Mining, Madam Namakao Kaingo.
Okay.
That's the mother I know, because I think when I grew up after 14 coming up, it's someone who stood in front of me, that taught me what is right and wrong. And after I completed school, I moved to Chilenje and started staying with my elder cousin, brother. Okay. Yeah.
So, where was your father in all this? You haven't mentioned.
So my dad died in 1990 on the 5th of January, a week before I started grade 1.
I'm sorry to hear.
So I was young then, so there's no much
recollection of. Yeah.
Yes, I just remember him parked outside with a Land Rover 110 or 109, doing funny things and making me laugh. That's the most vivid memory I still have about him.
My research team says he played guitar.
Yes, he did. My elder brother told me a lot of stories about him, sent me pictures and what, and yeah, he said he used to play a lot of guitar for his friends. Yeah.
Did you have music in you, or did you feel like you wanted to be a musician as you were growing up?
So when I was young, when I think I realized that I imagine or dream a lot of things when I'm young, when I'm alone and quiet. I'm one of those kids that will be walking and talking to myself. Like I switch off, go into a character and play that character even alone. And as early as 10 years, when I was in grade 2 or maybe grade 3, 4, I could imagine myself making music or being a musician in Limulunga. And To answer that question, yes, I at some point these flashes came, but I didn't know it was to this level and caliber. It was just like I could make music or maybe write a song. So you are influenced by what you see. So when you see it, when you hear a song at the crusade, you feel like I'll also make a song for a crusade. When you go to a church, to a Sunday school, you hear people make singing, so I can make also a song for a church. So I always had a feeling I could make a song, but according to the scenario that I was in. So in grade 7, there's one new apostolic evangelist who walked up to me and said, "You will be a very big musician." This is 1996. And for me, I'm thinking, he used the word, "You'll be a very big singer." Singer, that's the word he used, singer. So I thought I would be very big singer in the Catholic, in the New Apostolic Church. In the church. And until maybe when I was like a musician, I was flying to Atlanta in the middle of the night. I was walking in the aisle on that plane. Then I remember say, but this I think was spoken to me. Yeah.
But did you sing in church though?
In grade 6 and 7, I did.
Were you singing? Were you playing an instrument?
Singing,
what were you doing?
Singing. I was singing tenor.
For how long?
Maybe for a year or something. Yeah, for a year. And then from there I went to secondary school. Secondary school, that's like your teen, where you're trying to find out who you are in life. Before, when I got to grade 10, I think a lot of things were about finding out what is exciting to me. So I became a bit mischievous. So when I meet people from that I was with at high school, they still believe I am that troublesome child. Yeah.
But you're very different from them.
I'm very different. Like a lot of things changed just when I completed school. Like a lot of things changed in that December. Just probably because I moved to start staying with my cousin, who was like a typical born again Christian.
Okay.
Took me to church every Sunday, and I got myself in very different circles. So
unachoka mseko ya mowa
seko yo chiliza maningi but you want to be a musician. But now I remember there was even like 3-4 months that I thought like I can switch into a gospel musician, when like, because for me, when I reached grade 10 and 11, I knew that I was gonna do this.
You're gonna do music.
Because of course, like when I come for holidays, I would be finding myself around the tribal cousins, Winston Moyo.
Rahim.
Rahim Chulu. It was quite very hard. Kucheza kukamba naye boys. Ushimika che alipo chati nikapoche forward. But then I knew I was gonna get there.
So like the tribal cousins, how did you meet them?
So the tribal cousins, I had a friend in Ngangula who was at Sefula also. So, but she was staying in Chilenje. So every time we come for holidays, I'll be hanging around from her place, because they had a better radio that I could use for my recordings, because I used to put katepu nafaka chili machenango kulaikila nyamuna chaku nyumba naenda kuli chao nalizira kuli chichosa sound yabo then nafaka tape kuli enango na recordera ukuyona nambo spitting ina pakati pa radio. So manje wambopunza wailiza kwamvira no aneze maningi pafupi wailiza futhi wabwankalira ko patali cheo wachaya bwamveka kwa mixing iliko bwino yaba. Yeah, so that's how I met Rahim, because he had the best friend to Inonge was like very good friends with Rahim.
With Rahim.
Clement, yeah. And then Rahim would come almost every now and then from there I knew him. I started speaking. It was quite very hard for us to be friends, because I think maybe he was, and at that moment these are stars. So you cannot really
at the time.
You cannot really. How do you even start the conversation? I also want to be
like you.
Yeah, it's more like, so you see me, I'm doing, and you're like, you wanna
now
kwani say, you know what I mean? So you always try to navigate. I found that quite hard to make friends. I started looking for another friend, Winston Moyo. I used to go Kuli Winston a lot.
Yeah, I remember
Winston. Somebody told me, he stays kuma chilenje kunya kuma lesbian. So I just...
So ndo zista introduced
yeah, nanienda chenienda mfika chena muza che kwandi nenda ndani nifura chena ine niambe kuimba chani, but I like what you do. So nifura nkaponzi de ine nkaribongera pa studio since wanamwe kuonekera. So before I go there, I just want to have a picture so that things work of watch it and everything like that. And he would be... every time we had a conversation, he would be very helpful. Adhani yankama mweni food. But what was just, it took patience for us to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Because there's a person kati ningaende monga kuma 10 nafika pa gate kwa vanuza walipo waendo muuza o watabwera vanuza vanipasa ka stew mulindire ko mtengo kama guava na nkalache anda yo ka guava tree mulindira che tena angachokeroko kuma 12:30 so
wow.
Ulipo che 2 hours che ulindira che kaili futi ukatakata nisho watakata. So nkunkala che mulindira pamene aza chokera hapo kwa achoka I will check cleaning masamba akamba kamba and then the talk will always last about 5 to 10 minutes. Muli best story langu futi waenda. So you are looking for a friend because you realize that the only way you can first you need to make friends and like just that person who's coming. So that then during that process you that wow my wambo sakira go to my studio and then you realize that time ezo chaza ati kwacha
chabwanje manje panga beat lo kurekoda
nyimbo mi beat ezo kalalo ko 40 kwacha or something like that per hour, that is per hour, that 60 kwacha was per hour.
So producer ngafuno viche dweka che
ngafuno viche kangaziliza feska te hao ingatalimbi. But so the only way you can make sure that you do it fast ni kungeni na kumbuyo like not the actual direct reception side. So panga cho wampeza chacho kapanja maybe producer enda kusakila lunch wamukambisa che wakamba ineyo imaningi nilibe 40 che so azavicha fast but food sometimes fast ngangale fast maningi
ngaononge nyimbo
so during that process waendako switch tachan. There was a girl that used to be my neighbor in Kajema Flats, Mulenga. So she tells me like, you always want to do this singing. I've got a friend who sings. Him is even on a compilation, on a CD, the Nexus compilation. Where there was Bwela Panyumba, Lubusu, there was Mainza Chipenzi, there was Vam Blood, there was Crazy, there was like, it was one of the most happening compilations.
I remember that compilation because we had the Mondo Music compilation in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think then we had the Nexus one, isn't it? Yeah.
So he's like, no, I'll need to introduce you to this guy. Before she introduced me to him, I went back to school because it was during the holidays. Nabwele school. When I was at school, there was an advert that Chateau are coming to Ngulu Hotel. So I went to Ngulu Hotel to watch Chateau, like Watabaku School, Maenda Che.
Savoy and Barbara.
Barbara, yes. Yeah. So whilst they were there, they had done that song with JK, the Lozy one. Naitopela mwana yo,
I remember
Naitopela, featuring JK. So they came with JK. And I used to watch him in the new age group, like JK, MC Wabu, Kelvin Mwesa,
that group, yeah.
So I saw him. At that moment, I told myself, whatever happens, I'm going to approach this guy. So I approached JK. When he just walked off the stage, when he started singing, I went behind the stage and introduced myself to him. I'm a Shanshan, I'm a singer, but I'm just doing my last grade now. Then I'll be coming to Lusaka, Shanshan. I think he liked the vibe. I think from all the rejection that I've had in the music industry when I was starting, the first acceptance I've ever had is JK. Like, he even told me tomorrow.
Because he was very big at the time.
Yeah, of course he was big. But when people say, no, JK is kind of hard, I've never experienced that with him. I never did. He even invited me to his room the following day. Come kuma 10 hours, Maido. So I went there, so Achan, Landa. So now I had to promise him, I write good Lozi songs. I'll write for you some good Lozi songs and da. So he tells me, no, when you come to Lusaka,
hit me up.
Hit me up. Come, this is my number. Nembira paka paper. Naenda ko school na sovesa. I started just looking for him when I completed school. So I realized that he was staying pa my bed sitters na George Wangu nkabwatania kuma basic kuja, so I would go there. Kambili nikafika nishibachoka up. Kambili kafika ne but then I asked the neighbors, told me no, my boys wamachoka up che 8 so nishibachoka. I think he was recording his first album.
Oh, right.
So they choke up.
And Joe probably was producing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they would leave. So one day I woke up very early, going there. Nifika chabe na motoka yabo ichoka cheso kwa. And then there was JK, there was George Wangu, may he rest in peace, JK and Louis X in the back. They were just driving. Nice. They waved at me. I think they just thought some fan was excited. Hi, bye.
So baba
enda napana sana che na bwana zote chat, I think he yakosako izona. Before everything, his album came out, it was too big. Now it was very hard. It was very hard now. Like, it was hard now.
Because I remember JK at that time now started having gigs almost every weekend.
Every week, even Tuesday.
Yeah, even during the week. Yeah.
I remember also wanting to catch him at some sports club. It was near the Lottie House. There was a pakona paja pali shop ya machani ama hardware now. There was a place there. And he was having a show there. I tried to go there in the night to just catch him. The security just.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to check .com. Waisa kushoka sisi koneka go tuwetu kunofaka tuponzi. Watu wanjala wazunguloka.
Out.
Yavuta zona. Nachekora jeka anyway. So that girl now took me to meet that friend of hers. She said he's on the
compilation. Who was on that compilation?
Yes. Yeah. Now she took me there. And then I went. Watafika cheka boys jena tumikule cheka imili na pado. Oh, this is my friend. Shan. This is the friend I told you he sings also, so I've brought him to meet you. This is my friend Jay Kale. Jay. Oh, yeah, no, I'm Petersen. Shan. Jay is one of the workers here.
No, I was actually going to ask you. He's one of our guys here.
Yeah.
He's one of our guys here. We've been together for a long time.
Yeah. So in 2002, I met Jay. A friend of us called Mlenga. I've never seen her since then. Took me to meet Jay. So I talked to him. He plays me a number of songs. I only knew about their song Wajama which was on the Wajama Iwe. It was on the compilation. So he played me some other songs and everything. Like, so much Shan. He gave me now the connections. Oh, Nexus, it's by insurance house. There's a producer there. Shan ukaende che what. Like, he gave me the actual.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'll go there.
It's not even what you expected, isn't it?
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, cool, I'll go. So napanga chata nikaenda record and bombe sako boys aliko na kwatu. Cause they have vichita kudala and every day I'm on a bus going to town, I hear their songs. So they have practically put through. Yeah, so I went to Nexus. But there was a lady called Chungu. Reception. She's my very good friend now, but
okay.
Enzo ikosesa.
Reception. Is Nexus yenze kuti?
Nexus yenze pa insurance house.
Insurance
in front of passport office.
Mwamba
kuja first floor.
Okay, great.
Kuti ungene chepa the closest you can get is just by the reception there. And it's just a matter of answering you how much we charge per hour, shanja. But inenfuna cheti, ningeneko che mbooth, nione kumweko nekera, nikambeko na producer. And you don't give up, you keep on coming. Then I got a job at Zambia breweries as a casual worker, packing my bottles on my crate, shan. So
nakumana na Bruno wanga this one iso. Youth chairman.
Zambia
breweries na hivi kuma crate kuchi.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I remember my boys Mungabe na Niza. Niza is one outstanding friend I remember from there, because I think Everton's obazira pamoja tikafika che pangana mapea tasankana che kwa imomgwesa kapena mapareti ngati mwachaya.
So I'm sure nzo pompa hapo manje ka?
Yamene che dayonda inenze very kaslimu maningi che but ubaza che. So now I met that's where I got paid, like a first salary check at I think it was 360 nishivachosamo vajavenzo chosamo chani chosamo nishivenzopenda tikazabwera ka 6 something
pa 6 kama kagwa ku 3
360 na bwana katenga nataka Kevin endo rekodera manyimbo hapa. I have to make sure that I just record a song even in 1 hour. So I went to Nexus now and got myself some studio time. Na Easy Mic recorded my first song.
What was the title of it?
Ziferire. It was a Lozi English song.
You wrote it?
I wrote it. Yeah, and I recorded it was too fast. During palancha hour pa put that one choka wampasa ya kumside akungenesa chacha paja. I didn't even know that you practically record chorus paeka then wachacha then record verse kwenze kuyamba chat A to Z then wambo backing a paper full ni kashani. And I think he just wanted to get done with me, so he just allowed me to do what I was thinking is how it works. I finished that, took it back. The sound output was proper. Na ndo ili za kunyumba ya mvekabu. First napoenda na pempako na driver wa bus baiponyera koche baili zako mbus kwa nishitenda kuchirenji. Nafika cha kunyumba na ili zako mchirimba na no, let me take it to J. Ya bwaya lira, ya bwaya fika ku rap ya chizungu manje second verse. Ananiseka kuhipo.
Adichani.
Nezo chache kaya pronounce my words che yamini che national scandal che naniseka kuipa je my guy, this word, no, you can't pronounce it like that in a song. It's not a presidential political speech. Music ina mwechaira tuma words twerango che isunga kambe attention unless maybe ufuno rhyme na vanson or sunshine. So you need to change some stuff. Chinja hii chani alipasa kwa direction zona kamveka ko zona, so I have to there's a music.
And also I think if the producer was not in a hurry at the time,
we could
have guided you on some of the things.
I just did fast. Is Mike, I remember that. So now I'm like, I need to go back and maya kuti ni mpeze cheti cha session inango nenzo enda wachomwa bounce our end. So one of the days when I went there, that's when I met crazy Andrew. Crazy achoka mcorridor. Namuza nifuna kungena mkati mao nipelekeze ko kuzangena nayo pobwere nenzo endo cha gula ma blank CDs cha nampele. Then we made friends. I think my career just started right there when I met Andrew in that.
Then at that point now, you got a chance to you did something with J. Kale, right?
That was like later on when I was working on my. So,
but at this stage, you did something with Crazy. You did some back.
So it is at this moment where it starts like I nabwana record. Then after I vuta manje ku record ku Nexus to redo my song, I had to go to what was that, sound check. It was at Carousel building where Red Lin, so Winston Moy were doing Lavia Muti and all that. There was a guy called Emmanuel Makosini. So I went there, talked to him. I wanted to do 3 songs. He charged me, told me, okay, if you want to do a song, because during the day, this timetable is booked, everyone is taken for the next 2-3 months. So we can only work in the night. So in the night again, enzo dizira dani keyboard enzo mbandi ya dani. So nikaenda kushow, ochoka kushow ni mabogo na ku studio. So you can come after kuma 4 so you have to come at 04 for you to at that
04 especially Ngosa is a public transport.
So now I was lucky enough I had moved and started staying in Kamwala. Last year kwanjanji cheuko. So 04 nauka Mkamwala, and you see it was very dangerous then. Na samba kwa na cutting akanja pakat panjanji, you know, from Kamwala to Carousel. That deadly.
Parika sanga patch.
Then it was very like proper sanga che. That's why I cut dawache kwa 04 kwa nafika. It was dark. Went na ndofika na wewe ndepe bangena che studio ndepe bafika che. Wakambata first goneko che pangono ukabweleko later first maybe after an hour.
Zaenda kuti.
So nankala chepa ka bench chepa mene paja maboys cheni bali ndira bagona paka kuma 06, so maybe 6 to 5, that's when they woke up and opened. So I had to record from that 6 to 08 before they opened, I had to record like 3 songs. It was a marathon.
And what songs are these that you recorded?
So one of the songs made it on my first album, Nenzena Pamela. So I recorded Nenzena Pamela. Then I recorded another song called Zesco Donsa, which was later done by Shyman in like 7 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did Zesco Donsa and Zesco Donsa, Nenzena Pamela. I think I Ukondeini. I think so, yeah. So then it is there at Soundcheck where I recorded Good Night. Good night, baby. I'll see you tomorrow. So I recorded it. Then I went to play it for my new friends now were crazy. They could stand me. I would hang around with them and they would listen to my music. So improve shanshan. Then they had Good Night. Oh, inikali kuipushing a chebu in opit and everything like that. Oh, thanks, nachokako. The following day, when I arrived, like, I know we had a meeting with the guys. We want your song. So at that time, I already had started doing, like I was now in school doing accounting, NATEC at Lusaka Business Technical College, which is Lusaka Trades. So I would just cross the road to go Mulibala, Paliva crazy. Have a lunch hour and then go back for my. So during that time, it was easier. So now they said, we want this song, Good Night.
So when they say we want it, did they want to buy it? They wanted you to give it to them?
Yeah, you give it to us. We're going to feature you in it. And when we feature you, then people are going to know you. And that's all I want at that moment.
That's what you wanted?
Yeah, I just...
You wanted to be featured in your own song?
If it's going to be owned by people who are known.
No, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It's
because
like
if you went and said you wanted a collabo with them, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it was.
So it was not the best deal, but it's something that gave you the opportunity.
Yeah. For example, right now you're a new artist and Mwape says, I need this song before you drop it. Let me sing it, but I'll feature you in it.
Yeah.
You crack, I know that you're going to get the attention.
Yeah.
Like once people are waiting for Mwape's song. And then when you are on that song, you'll definitely be seen. So I thought it was a good deal. And we went to TK Roma side. Now I went to a studio where it's not fighting, entering, ufikache, status yao artist che. So now you start feeling like this is making sense.
Because also bakuza 9 o'clock, they're expecting you at 9.
Yes. Mufika che kwa na wa crazy. Kanyimbo wakaliza kamvela. Ndio mekalili. Apanga beat. Okay, cool. This is okay. They went there, they put the vocals. Then the following day, they called me also to go put my vocals. So a lot of people don't know I'm the person who did Bebe Wazakuna Meboza. Ndiwe weka nikonda over. Ndiwe kama Zesco Donsa on the Good Night song. Yeah. So the day that they were shooting the video, I was writing my exam. Now it was exam time for NATEC. And I couldn't go to so they just shoot the video without me. And then the album came out and it was big. They brought Bruna, the former Big Brother house from Angola for their launch. They also brought Zombo from Abashante.
So this was under Nexus Music?
No, now they were with a label called Africa. Because they had left Nexus.
Okay.
When they did when they were working on their second album. They did their first album with Nexus. And then they moved to Africa. So when Africa, I think, got a wind of it, they said, actually, this big song that is there was written by somebody else who features on it, but he wasn't there at the video shoot. They looked for me. I remember it could have been Tivo who called me to say, Pamela Ponya and Steve Ponya are looking for you. These are names you are scared. They're like, looking for me. Yeah. So now I'm thinking, is this my time now? or may I head on my time? So they had their offices at Carousel also up there. They had moved it. So I went. So what happened? What made you give them the song? What was the agreement? No, we need to formalize this. So we are going to pay you for the song. It was the first time I was paid for music. I think they paid me about 250 kwacha.
For which song?
for Good Night.
Good Night.
Yeah,
Okay.
for writing it.
Okay.
So they paid me. That's more like buying me out
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
So she signed somewhere here. Na contract just inaiverenge na
Saina
kuzati kamba chani.
Nzeru cheku mafu.
Niuna cheti ya kwa vanipasa kwa na choka chemu che cross the road ngena chemkomesa jini sapato t-shirt ka jacket naoneka ku presenting
kuoneka monga ndi artist
short after nachoka muja na ka plastic bag kanga nangena na Independence Avenue up to about the mosque nangena na mu passing ku playhouse kuja straight into that Mwitwa road in Rhodes Park where there was Zika na ndolipira kona ka subscription ka next semester ka next year kwa nalipira kudateki shanshani I think naenda kona pa book something nagula pona Frankwood book. So $250 was quite a lot of money. I bought clothes, paid for my subscription and also bought a Frankwood for accounting. Naenda na kunyumba yapita na bine. Nafika kunyumba. Now that I was in Kamwala in Kamwala, my neighbor was Jerry Fingers. Nambo zivi kakaidi manje bamboniona. Shanshan mazunguluka kona ba crazy. Wakachako matua copper belt na ine nilipo che I performed before them and everything. So he took me to Bob Mabege, Jerry Fingers. He was my neighbor. He's like, no, I produced one artist called Bob Mabege. That was another school in my career. Like I learned how to write music for the ghetto, like music for a typical Zambian. Yeah. So I met Bob Mabege. During my working with Bob Mabege, 2004, a year later, we traveled to the Copper Belt. I met Bayoka. Bayoka liked me.
Bayoka. Because you know what to Bayoka pan.
Bayoka is the OG. Person that puts on everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I met
everyone says Bayoka.
When I met Bayoka, Bayoka didn't even have a studio then.
Yeah.
He is that guy who loved music.
Yeah.
And how we met Bayoka is because the show was organized by, I think, Dandy. He had just left Lusaka. Remember, he was in Lusaka, he used to work with Buster Flo. So when I was on the Copper Bed, when I was working with Bob Mabege, Dandy organized the show at Mindolo Dam. So we went to Mindolo. So for those that ever attended shows that Dandy used to organize in the early days, you always know that before the show ends, they will come hooligans ponya vintu kuvanda mulache vintu kupisha bantu pa market, so you definitely never get paid. So once bangi na chef then azaka sokoroka chef following day ya chiba bad yesterday bad tobe vintu ya. So when we were at Mindolo, the show ended and the guys who organized were nowhere to be seen. So we are stranded there. Jerry Fingers picked the phone, calls Bayoka, who was in Chingola. Bayoka sends the young brother Tavo to come with the kabaska wa Mona Lisa. Kezo nyamula my workers then about picking and not peleka
it's the owner of Mona Lisa. George is my friend.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes when on certain days I'll be sitting with him, I'll see the bus come.
Yes.
Kana late paja kabwera kabobatenga bachi. Keza na mipando kumbuyo kaja.
Kalibe mpando kumbuyo. Kalichena mpando mozi. Then kumbuyo ni kunkala che.
Yeah.
So but at least because there were just the three of us, me, Jerry Fingers and Bob Babeg and the Tabo came. Jerry Fingers sat in front, me and Bob sat in the first chair that one. He came to me. That was 2004. He picked us up, took us to Chingola. We reached Chingola. Bayoka, sorry guys, no much tea, kashoso, let me shansan. He put us in Nchanga Hotel. It's just like blocks away from Mona Lisa. Then in the afternoon, he took us to a studio called Zilile Media Inc. The producer there was Musa Raften or some. So that's where I met a camera. Then there was a guy who was taking pictures of what was going on in the studio. Like we're recording. Bob Mabege is working on something with the Jerry Fingers and Musa, and I'm there. And then there was.
Well, you called Petersen at the time.
Yes.
Okay.
I had already settled for the name. So, but there was no Zagaze. It was just Petersen.
Yeah.
And then so there was a guy who was taking pictures. Like the first time naona kwa watu studio mchacha and there's someone taking footage. So after Babwakama, no, they need to have a meeting now. So it means ni wakulu Jerry Fingers, Bob Mabege, and Bayoka and the producer. So me and the camera guy had to walk outside and sit maybe by the veranda to wait for them to finish. So taindonkala panja na camera guy tamushi. So boy in my imba nfuna chanchana na eva kamba anaine in my imba I rap also in ikomka group called Balimbe. Oh, but now nambo pushing a chema works yanga nekare. Even go pushing a now tisakafika hapo boy. We started talking, just pushing,
encouraging each other.
Encouraging each other. So so iwe boy zina yako yo Zambo using since we kind of like a solo artist Valimbe yamene no nzankala MK Makitu. Yeah. Yes. That's where we come from now.
Wow.
So Buga shot my first video ya Ono.
Okay, he was shooting videos.
Yeah, so then we became friends there. So I realized that now I had a friend on the copper belt. I became close. I could not be very close to Bayoka then. I'm just a boy that came with Jerry Fingers and Bob Mabeg.
Yeah.
So they are that level. We are here. And after we came back, and funny enough, he made the mistake to take us to his house and left the house, went somewhere. I don't know what we were doing with Bob. Na bwana wapanye na table, Bayoka, sorry.
Unapanya bunch table.
Yeah, so.
Unapanya bunch yaka.
How inishini yaka wazungu. I don't know what was happening. Kapete zo chitachani. Yapwanyika. And for him, he remembers that story vividly because he says when he came back, I looked very scared. Bazaga mwenzi mwone kachebolo kwa mayopa mwaimilila na bwana kuzanchati easy it's okay.
Ndio mayoka.
So then I after now nazwana na Buga na Bayoka, then I started getting now his music and bringing it to Lusaka. So through me getting the music ya Buga and bringing it to Lusaka, I started bringing a lot of copper belt music to Lusaka because I wouldn't just go and get his catalog. So we came back to Lusaka. Hey, my journey was
something. Let me ask another question. Your relationship with Black Muntu, how did you meet? Because I think you started writing some songs.
When we got back to Lusaka, few months later, Bob Mabege was signed by Mondo Music to do his first his album called Mr. True. I think that was his second because he had Mabege at first. Amnyamule Mabege before he did that Mr. True album. So when he got signed by Mondo Music, I think he started rolling at a different level and different energy. And at this time, I know that I can write songs for people. Because there's a song that we wrote together with Bob, Love at First Sight. He went to studio. When he was doing his album, he did it and I wasn't there. But when you hear it, people accepting it, then you realize, oh, I think what I'm doing is good. I did for Crazy, it makes sense. We worked with Bob and so I think I can write music actually. So that time around, Black Muntu had broken up, and when Leo Muntu was happening big.
Okay, because when they broke up, Leo started.
Yes, he had. If you want some,
then Mwape was a bit relaxed. And then,
So me and my brother Wezi, my half brother, we went to look for Mwape Muntu. Kuma deeper life kuja. Taenda chekwa taenda sakira papa nyumba wankala pata konkosha bachoka tazicha introduce ni male mba music. I can write some music shan anivesa kuveona lemba kwa anivesa. It's like, okay, you can write for me a song, we hear how it works. So we had a trip to Mansa Chipiri, where half of my family comes from. When I was in Chipiri is where I wrote Bweleka. Bweleka, hey. So when I came back, I called them, Dala, nalemba nyimbo, kwa nampelekela. Sounds good, let's go kuti TK.
Romasai.
Taendo record da kuli TK. Ya choka. And then the other song I wrote, Ngaya Posa Kukosa. I found them in the studio with Bob Mabege, Pamwamba, Evelyn Horn College, Pajavachaya, Ngaya Posa, but never had verses. So I wrote the verses for Ngaya Posa Kukosa for Mwembe. And then he adopted me as his backing vocalist.
Okay.
So I think I toured when we did Copper Belt, we did almost everywhere he was doing shows. And I was hoping that once everything is gonna help me also start recording my own, because I'm working with a big fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Folank Dukes hienzo bwera ija so ija chitache tumwabaza
Dukes
but
ni ndalama.
kufola so mpezi kacha tumwabaza kwa but kiti nayo wendeko che kunyumba. I remember one
kunyumba na ka bread
zokosako. I remember one very defining night. We had a show in Chilanga during the day up to about 21. Then we went to Kukabangwe somewhere. There was a place called the Calabash. Did another show. And then taenda kunyumba manje tafika, should get on a taxi. We reach by his house. Then I have to go home. Kwa bwanpasaka 20. So na mbosakira taxi nafika kunyumba 0 na kwenda the following day ijai namna nipasa na kwenda che taxi at 1. Okay, next time. So my next time is yanapakisi.
Yeah.
So what I didn't have is a conversation with him. I was young, probably maybe also never had courage to approach. So nambonkalira che bitter from afar. You understand? Shani. Then those times that we would do, he used to have a friend called McKelvin who used to work for Intercontinental Hotel.
I know McKelvin. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah, Sync.
Sync. Yeah.
So we would move around with Sync some of the. So I went to confide in Sync to say, your friend, it's always hard. And I don't know how to approach, but I think maybe you are able to talk to him. Because in my end, no boiler so you know. Maybe na ripako kukanyimbo the following day record but we just move and I can see the payment that I don't know if they spoke or what. On my side, whether it was cowardice or no confidence or just scared of him, I did not approach him. So I just withdrew. Nachokamo, but he doesn't know that nachokamo. So there was a show at, I think it was Dan Kaya's music launch, Danny Kaya's album launch at Mulungush, and he's performing there, and there was a live band, and he calls me to say, today when they introduced him on stage, then he looks for me and said, today. Then I said, Satexe. Satexe. I looked at me and he went. You being the person who says the word, you don't always know the impact that it has on someone. So I leave naenda na iwarako. So he did what he did, but because Kelvin's house and his house were just near. Before he went to him, he's like, no. I need to put that thing straight. So he came in the night. Kuma 02 kwa konkosha. Kelvin kaoshe kamfana kash. Came. Petersen, yes. Are we age mates? No, I'm not age mate. Where have I wronged you? Mwembe.
Oh, Mwembe.
Yeah. So he came at like 02 to 3.
Yeah.
Are we age mates? No, we are not. What have I wronged you, or what is it that made you say Satexe? Iwe unilangane pamesa nongaza Satexe. I think I didn't have answers. So I was like, no. You should know that I'm older than you. He was very furious. At some point, he lost his temper. I think he chased me around the table. You know, maybe and pass che one che nizibe bakuru. So nazunguruka table. Then McKelvin stands up and said, no, my friend, it's in my house. Because at that time, McKelvin got me now. Says Mwaiche, there's like a room that is spare. And you know those manyumba tomka wata where there's a sitting room, a bedroom, then you go out, there's a kitchen and another bedroom outside. So he gave me that one. That's where I came from. So no, you can't come in the night. You could have called me Takamba, then we know how to handle. You know to wabula chao siku funa kumenya mfana shan. No. But he was very annoyed and he just said, no, mfana. I think he tries himself around me. Because lately I've always had information of that. He moves around saying he wrote my music. Yes, you wrote the music, but the music is known to be mine. The songs are mine. They are on Mwembe Muntu album. If you want to have your music, go to a studio, record your music, release it, push it, people accept it, then you can claim that to be your music. I think for me, in that conversation, that was stuck. and it drove me to start wanting to record.
Uh-huh.
And I think those were like his last words, and he walked away. And we've never had the conversation like proper since then. Ni hello.
So what you're saying is that your beef yakudana na manje kali.
Now I don't have beef, but I think we've just never had.
Or maybe because maybe there was no closure.
Yeah, there's never been.
Yeah.
Like
So it's like we're not enemies, but it's just hi.
But
Chasira.
so I believe there's some that he feels I wronged him. I also feel like he's pushing maningi kumbali. But that So
I'll throw a challenge at you though.
Oh yeah.
Have a sit down with him, have a talk with him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because obviously now you're older, you're wiser.
Yeah, of course.
Based on what.
So after I left, then Sink says, and when Sink gave me that room, he told me to say, you'll be paying 600 in this room to stay in here. So Kanshi was whatever it is that I ever gave him, he put aside. And then after that fracas happened, after Big Bro Mwape left, then he says, was one person I've organized some more money. I'm paying for your studio time.
Oh wow.
You have to record an album. And he's told you if you want to own music, make your album and own the music. So we'll see if you're gonna own music. But after we had that talk, I think my life was military. He kept me like military. He never allowed me to walk, to move out. He just bought me 2 hardcover books and said, write music, and gave me one of his radios, sit. So I think for a good 3 months, from about June, July, August, I never stepped out. I was just writing music. Then in September, he told me, now you can start going to record. Ku Jive Beat, ku Charleston, could be an Alana Chow. That's why I recorded my first album. Paid for by Sync Sounds, everything done by Sync Sounds. And I recorded, that's why I recorded Munyaule. And then I remembered I had a friend who was very good in music, J. Carr. I brought him, we did Ono.
Yes.
Yeah, did Promise. And I think my journey started from there. Had my type of my time cafe mkaja 2 years, oka 1 year. The music died down. I had to do another album. Yeah, I went to the Copper Belt now. Yeah.
Great. You're checking out the Kenny T One-on-One podcast brought to you by Yatu Tea. My guest today is Petersen Zagaze. His real names are Mukubesa Mundia.
Mukubesa is my name, Mundia is my surname.
Yeah.
But people always
do it the other way. If you told me that name, I wouldn't think it's been.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is the Kenny T One-on-One podcast brought to you by Yatu Tea. If you love what we do, just to encourage us, drop us a like, drop us a follow on Facebook and YouTube. That will make us very, very happy. My guest today is Petersen Zagaze. Now, Zagaze, let's speak about when you moved to the Copper Belt. I think you said that.
Yeah.
You went to do another album with Ben Blazer.
Yeah.
Right? How was your experience there?
I think one of the best experience I've ever had during recording an album, because I think it was the whole process. I received a call from Ben Blazer. When I was still working with Mwembe Muntu, I was standing outside his flat. Then Ben sent me. No. I wasn't working with Mwembe Muntu, but I was around that area because the flat, I remember the flat, but there could have been a friend that I was seeing there by the same flat. I was standing outside and then received a call. Ben Blazer said, Wakamba, I've got a beat for you. And for me, I was just from listening to that Ephraim album. And I'm like, this sound is good.
The Ephraim album was produced by Ben Blazer.
Ben Blazer, yes.
Okay.
I think there was that type of music. So, and then after we had that, I was like, okay, I'll create some time, then I'll come. Then I also received a call from Unique, who was working with Ben Blazer, to say, I've got a song that I would love you to put a verse on. I said, okay, cool. I think Ben, I'm supposed to come there. So came a time that I had a show on the Copper Belt. Then I went there. when I after the show the following day, I called Unique to say, oh, I'm in the Copper Belt. Can we link up? I put the verse on that song. He said, no, in fact, they gave me the direction to Nkana East. So I got on a taxi.
By the way, when Ngoma need that Unique sometimes.
Unique, but yes, oh no.
Listen to the Unique.
Ntoyo ningi naino zona. Naiona zona Unique. So I went to meet Unique at Ben Blazer, and then he introduced me to Ben Blazer the first time. Oh, ndiye Shanshan. So I put the verses. No. It's now I know. It's when I went to Ben Blazer, put the verse on Unique's song. After I left, that Ben Blazer called me to go there for the song. It made me a beat.
Yeah.
So when I went to, then I told myself, okay, cool. How much do you charge? He told me, so okay, I'll come and put the verse on that beat, but I'll come and pay for 2 more songs. So I went there, paid for 2 more songs. He made the beats, and after I recorded the verses on all the songs, like Namvira Chemwa Chara to Marafu mix twake twa first to ya tatu manyimbwa, I went to Daliso's place, because when I went, like, now I'm going to record an album. I called Daliso to say, nifuno chako manyimbo na Ben Blazer, can I come and keep up by your place?
Because Daliso was in Quito at the time.
Yes. So he said, no, boy. It's a problem yo. Boy, che loko 1 week, loko 2 weeks, shan unga boy. And I said, okay, cool. So I went to Daliso's place, went to do my songs. Ben Blazer gave me a Tumaraf mix. I went to Daliso's place, played them on this, and I felt like, the first song was Nilaveko. Then there was Love Yapa Phone. Then there was So I'm now telling myself, why should I leave and go to Lusaka to start recording when this guy is giving me this type of music? So I went back to the studio and said, Ben, I was thinking maybe we could work on an album
together.
Yeah, I do not have the money to pay you now, but I can draft a contract that is gonna give us 50-50 from the sales of the album. My plan is that when I finish, I'll go to Supershine. I've got a relationship with them. They'll put for us on CD and tape.
And Supershine was big at the time.
Yeah, very big. And what happened with the goodness with Supershine is that you didn't really have to belong to a record label. All you needed was just a good song. Then they would give you an opportunity to be on a CD and what. So Ben was like, okay, go draft something, I'll look at it. And then so I went back, so paka computer kake, kwa napanga ka contract, napitana na market mchimwemwe, naka printer, short Nkana East, namperekera karangana. No problem. We just have to make sure that even the day that you're signing with Supershine, I'm also there. Said, okay, cool. So I started recording my album with Ben. After I did that, I also sat with Daddy to say, I'm thinking, nichache album now. Muntu wanga, no problem muntu wanga. Tibaze che. He was working at some school, I think Mperembe or something.
Who?
Daliso. He was in the catering section. Yeah. So I kuseni as a choka hapo inaenda studio na bwera. It was one of the best life I've ever lived, because Daliso every day would arrive with a new story. Subway zapo kulipia joke ya kushimikira kudala, joke every day kuli joke ya new. And he also had some songs that he had recorded with Danny. So now, because we are just there, the two of us, we started saying, Papa Petinkara che urecord album tikasicha yako na tumashow. So we started organizing a lot of shows mkitwe, me and Daliso. Petersen and Daliso kubuchi, kushani. So that word of us doing shows. And I had, then our relationship with Bayoka had really gone very high. So I would start certain songs by Bayoka studio, like Danger Zone. I would go to Danger Zone. I asked Bayoka to say, when all the artists knock off, are you able to give me keys to the studio so I can be using it in the night? It's like, no problem. So now I would get some to my artist, mkitu etwanyu, na indanato ku Danger Zone, na tulipirisa, na tulekodako to my beat. Soche kalife kaenda tipushingako mkitu. So that word reached one of my brothers who was bedridden for 8 months, and then he came, knock pa door kuma 11, so opened, Okay, there's so I can't say the word, the MF word that he used to call me. Hey, don't crazy upon a damn. I just heard that you are in T3. Shashani, so nice. I've been bedridden for 8 months. I was in a car accident in Solwezi. They broke my leg today in the first time kuyenda. So Shanshan, so they've work record that one. I said, now, in fact, I've got studio time per manje. Ku
Danger zone.
danger zone. So we can be going there in the night to record that on Alizako to my beat. So we did like 2 nights, 3 nights, then I left to my beats. So per desktop, then Vayoka would want to listen to what I was working in the night. So there was Msia Topinge before I took it to Ben Blazer. And then there were 3 more other songs. By nani. Ngo yumnenu ni nani unata ni Dandi. Ale umfuka wino. Said dawa yalife wino. So kumsaina chan. Kuti ashupa nata. Obviously yonkani munga kambe cheba vile.
Yakambe sana.
Na mbwana muza nje vile Vayoka afuna ko. Oh eh. So how they met, which day, how they called each other, I might not have that.
You might have.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Petersen, really quickly, how many albums have you done, and which
date
songs would you point out as being the biggest songs from which album?
From which album? So first
Or
album,
you can talk about the album
first
and just
album,
randomly speak about the songs you think.
First album
Yeah.
is Mnyaule. There was Promise in there. This is my promise. But I think Ono and Mnyaule, the actual Mnyaule, were
big.
really big from that album. There's Bobo Jan. I always like to believe Nilaweko and Msia Topinye.
Bobo Jan, you featured Ben Blazer.
The one that produced by
He
Ben
just
Blazer.
produced it.
Yes, he produced
He
it.
didn't.
The one who featured on the song Bobo Jan is JK.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is at the time that everyone I called. So what will happen is that I know I could not convince an artist to leave Lusaka and come to the Copper Belt to put a verse. So when they come to when they've got a show like on the Copper Belt, I'll make sure there's a hair namukonkela che namuza chechan. So I tried like a couple of times. I tried Mampi, she turned me down. I tried Chameleon. JK made it on the album. And I also featured Ephraim.
What were the reasons Mampi and Chameleon?
Chameleon, I think we spoke. Okay, cool. Then it just reached a time where he was not picking the phone. Mampi gave me about around 18 hours. Okay, we work at 18 hours. So I went to the studio, fixed up everything. Shan. Oh, it's often a pesa chan studio. So I mean, it's just water. Shan. Maybe it's my snacks. We got that. 18, 19, 0, 19, 30. Sister, no, I've gone for dinner. So she went for dinner with Mireo, big brother.
Oh, okay.
So it passed. And managed to, when JK came, I called him. I said, I've seen a banner that you're coming to the Kito next week. Are you gonna be like, how Mundia? Because he calls me Mundia. He's never called me Petersen. Mundia, nganapona fe Delta. So yeah, when he arrived, before he started off for Lusaka, he called me. Hey, Achani, go studio. Then we went. Then he did the chorus for Bobo Jan. Yeah, so Bobo Jan is Msia Topinye and Nilaveko. Those are a lot of other songs like Mnyaule na Futi and all that. Then there's Job 1313, which was produced by Marie at Lusaka Playhouse, Danikaya Studio. I think Makwebo Mchechi, Mesea Bwerenance, Oxygen. Other people prefer Vutola Fuaka and yeah. And then there's King Solomon, where there's Kalukowo and Bazesco. Then there's Spartacus, where there's the Nfola 4-pin. And the same Kalukowo and the same Spartacus itself. Then there's Apocalypto, where there's Bwana ni Muntunai. I think Bwana ni Muntunai there. And the Zirire, Wafuna Zirire. Then there's a recent one, Sokatoa, where there's Senzeni and I think the song that is the Lewani Kamo. Yeah.
King Solomon. It's the 4th album.
4th, yes, King Solomon. That's why there's Kalukobo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Now let's just quickly speak about your political career. What started that?
So I think it's the desire just. When you don't know politics and you just have love for the country, you just desire to say, I think I can be part of the change. And I think what started that is maybe the traveling around. You travel, you see other countries, and because you should remember when I wanted to stand for mayor, for the first time I got into politics, I was trying to stand for mayor. And it was after traveling around, seeing a few African cities that have got certain things that are not in Lusaka.
Not in Lusaka,
Yeah,
yes.
but you're like, this can be
done.
but I think if I am at the head at the council, I think we are able to effect
able to,
this.
yeah.
So that could have been what started it all. And then you learn other things. Like when you get in there, then you realize, oh, so really it is not a matter of just having a desire. You need to belong to a formidable political party. Because maybe when I was starting, I was like, at least it won't be very hard to sell myself.
Yeah, because people already know you.
No. But when you get in, you realize, yes, you can be known, but there should be structures that have been existing politically, because there are people that
Support
understand politics and how to win elections.
Yeah.
So it is where now that I started having a sense of wanting to be affiliated to a political brand. And when we were heading into 2021, I think that's when I was like, now I need to be on a sensible political party. So, all in short, I think what really sparked it was just a desire to be part of the change I desire.
You see, to your point, usually what brings a lot of exposure for me, it's not just traveling to these countries, but also learning how they do things, especially if it's a country that's a bit more advanced than your country.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a country and you see,
Yeah.
you know, how do they do this and whatever. Like, for example, for me, the biggest thing that I think would be nice to have in Zambia is like how our friends have the How train in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
You know, from the airport, you're going to Sandton very quickly. There's no delays. There's no, you know, it's difficult for you to miss a flight. And I'm thinking, if we got a train like that, imagine running from Charleston, you know, to town. You know, it'll be a good thing. So I can understand what you mean. It's like sometimes you ask yourself a question to say, okay, but why are things like this here and why are things like that the other side? And I'm very sure that our leaders are also seeing what others are doing and aspiring maybe to make things better for this country.
Yeah, it's a very different topic and kind of deep, in a sense that later on when I joined socialism, the Socialist Party, and I was taken to school to understand how capitalism works, how communism works, and then
Oh, you went to school?
Yeah, I've gone to school for socialism and
where?
Internationalism in Limpopo, South Africa, in a town called Bela Bela. There's a school called Nkwame Nkrumah, where they practically teach you what a state is, how economies run. And I think I did well to do that after I had already done my degree. Like, you know, you understand public administration, then you go into the actual political system that run the world. Then when I went to that school, I started understanding why what can happen in South Africa might not really happen in Zambia. Maybe later on after, because it's about the headquarters of where you are running the capital from and where you collect. Yeah, it's another topic. You know.
Great. So you, what is this? What is your position now? We're in an election year. Where are you standing?
Okay, so like I said before, you have desires, but when you get into it, you realize there are certain things that has to be done.
Structures.
Yeah. So in 2021, I think I still went in because probably now I just thought, come, we need a candidate here. You understand? Ngenapo hapa. And don't worry, your everyday run arounds will be handled. And then I went in because there's no much headache. But you realize that there should be an end game to everything. And now I understand if I was to be anyone's campaign manager or to run my own campaign, I think I would put certain things in order first before I desire to stand. So we are in an election year and I feel I'm very far away from being a candidate that can be on a ballot because of what I know in the past 2 previous elections that I've been through. If I want to stand for Kawata, there are a lot of things that I need to do 5 years, 6 years before actually announcing that I am coming for this. But when you're Stu, you see, like for MK, for example, MK Buga, you've seen how long he's been working to get here, how much he's been pushing, and everything that is put in order. It's been months, years, and everything like that. So that's not a strange thing. He's kind of on the right track. But my stand being in an election year, that I will just be probably maybe on the presidential campaign team, campaigning for the president, not myself really, because I believe there are a lot of things that are not. Yeah,
it's probably the first time I'm hearing a politician saying, "I am not ready. I need to put things in place," realizing that what they've put together is really not adequate.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Everybody says, "I can do it. I'm ready."
It's desire. I think when you are realistic, you understand there's a difference between desire and reality. Reality is the actual thing, what we call fate, happens. And then desire is just wanting. So sometimes you can push for something that is not really in your favor at that moment because you haven't done anything. With politics, there's nothing people like me. Every human being is liked. And when you go into that field, there are people that belong to that side and people that belong to that side. And for you to get people to get for you, it's not because I speak well, you have to do certain things to make those people. So you realize that this and that hasn't been done. So
how is it like, working with Dr. Fred? He's a very knowledgeable man. I had him on my podcast. We had quite a lot to learn from him.
So one thing that is done to my mind already even came into play when I just walked into the powerhouse media. Like, I asked the guys I met, what is the ratio between female employees and male employees here? Because I could see that, and I know it's not by mistake or I was wired like that. It's through working with Fred member that even when I work in an organization, these are things that I notice.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm seeing the ratio of female is higher than for us, that's the first thing you need to do. If Fred member walked into a room and they're just men, he would walk out.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no debate there.
Why is that?
Because he believes every human being has to be at play, and there are qualities that women have that men don't have, and there are qualities that we have that they don't have. And even when you go into school and do management theory, you realize that there are a lot of works in the industry, like for example, manufacturing industry, that is just dedicated for females because they've got fast fingers that are not as strong and like us. They can give us a job, me and you and 2 other women there, to do some, maybe sorting out just normal beans, rotten one they would do it faster than us. It's just nature.
Petersen, let's speak about the Zaga Fest.
Yes, sir.
We need to speak about that because it's one of the country's biggest, festivals.
Thank you very much.
What was the reason behind you coming up with this, and how is it going so far?
Okay, the reason probably was me having a show on my birthday or my birthday weekend. And I always had that, but it was always been done at a small scale. So when I sat down and realized that every year I'm going to have this show on this day, either on the 26th, 27th, 28th, or 29th, because it's around September month end, I realized it's just even better I just make something bigger that can grow and become something that will be there. Even if I'm no longer here, my kids can run with it. So the first thing that made me want to do the Zaga Fest is because I think if I'm celebrating my life, I'm celebrating Zaga life. So if it's Zaga life we're celebrating, we should have a Zaga festival.
When are we having the festival this year?
26th of September.
26th of September.
Yeah.
Any confirmed artists?
That's what we're working on right
now.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. We are just doing communication with other guys. We always bring someone from the SADC, either from Namibia or Zimbabwe or Malawi. So we are still trying to fix that. And this time we are doing the 5th one, so we are trying by all means to make sure that it looks like the 5th one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You went to watch Manchester United in London.
Yeah.
You play football. You want to set up a football club called Mbekise.
Yeah.
How is that going?
So there's a dream, and there's also now starting the foundation. I'm a football fan who cannot really play the actual professional football, but I love football very much. And I've been supporting Manchester United since 1996, when I just came to Lusaka. So when my comfortable auntie got me at her house, there was access to watching football. So I think from there, that's when I got this. Mbekise is a word in Nalikwanda, where I come from. So we decided, say, we can do a united, probably maybe put the headquarters in Amshakende. And so now we are just in the midst of making up our mind whether we create a female team or a male team. So once we do our survey on how easy it may be to get female footballers compared to male footballers, then we'll know where we start from. Because I think there's not much female football in Western Province as well. And we think we might take that direction to also give a platform at that level for female teams.
We lost Charlie Bravo. Bravo played a very pivotal role in the evolution of Zambian music, and I think a lot of artists that we knew that were big then, that opened the door for a lot of you guys, they were under Bravo. I realized that you performed at his concert to honor him. How did his death impact the industry and even impact an artist like yourself?
For a songwriter, there's always a songwriter you look up to. Yes, I remember I started as a songwriter, and there were those that were known to be songwriters like Louis X, Charlie Bravo. And I would say Charlie Bravo is the first songwriter in Zambia to ever write and produce 6 albums in 1 year. In 2004, he dropped Chameleon's first album. Second, is it? First, he dropped Ozzy's album, he dropped Namanje's album, he dropped Kanji, he dropped Mampi, and he also dropped Taitu. These were like 6, if not 7 albums in 1 year. That's scary for a brain. Like, how do you drop? And all of them are success. Not success your particular, but you can see that Ozzy is flying high. Kanji is flying high.
Great albums.
Yeah. So
good sound, yeah.
when we lost him, was like, and then because we got close, kuma last che monga after 2018 coming this side, nepe namzi, you were like, would be able to talk bazungu shani, and to hear that we lost him is it's always heartbreaking to know you've lost a brother in the industry. And there's nothing really much I could do for Wazungu apart from just being there when he's being celebrated, and also be part of the celebration of celebrating his life.
Oh, you did well. Bravo was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
The only thing we can say is, rest in peace, Bravo.
He used to call you Wazungoso.
Till we meet again. He'll call me by my name, because usually when we're interacting, he's got proposals, I've got ideas of what we want to hook up, that kind of thing. Yeah. But he's a great guy. Yeah. So as we wind up, I want us to speak about how fatherhood, changed your life. I know that Petersen Jr. is acting. Your daughter vlogs quite a lot on TikTok. You want to speak about that?
Yeah, the fun part about my kids is that they block me from their socials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I practically can't see what they're doing unless maybe Changu, who's very, they call her Veronica, who's very visible on TikTok and online, does something that's a bit extreme. That's when they'll send you, they'll send me like, I've never received when she's done something very good and someone, oh, this is what she's done, look at. It's only when somebody's uncomfortable with something. So now I just see that and try to see. But I think with what I've learned about myself that how many times those that were keeping me were against my coming, a topic which I by purpose I just
put it to the side.
when I was explaining.
Yeah.
I would not want to put my child, knowing that is my offspring. She might have 5-10 times more than what I have, and the grace and the talent and what. So it's better I watch, unless it just does she or he does something that is out of the really out of context. But I think my kids are very talented to a level that I look, as a child, as a parent, you're able to look at your child do something and you even feel like even something wrong, but
Yeah.
because when you grow up, you realize that there are a lot of things that kids do that is really connected to you. They just give you a picture of, oh, this was me at this age. Even mwana akakunama, you remember that sometimes when your parents let that excuse you gave slide. It's not like unava kwanza kupa pizza pomo, daddy, no, what? It's just because they just feel like, let it pass. Junior likes football a lot, Petersen Junior. And I also realized the few drives that we have together, like when we're just the two of us, I think it comes out to show me like, dude, this stuff you do, I can do. He always gives me that vibe. And he would put some of my songs. I think his favorite is Life You Have Passed, and he would sing it so much that I'm thinking like, a guy by in a courage. And the most recent statement he's ever given me is like, Dad, me and you should do a song together. Yeah, then you put it out there and you push it. I'll help you push it. Like,
is it something you're considering?
I
think you should do it.
I think so. I have to create steps, because what I've learned about creating a star is the process that will either build them or. You see, people that win singing competitions never go anywhere.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, because there's no process
to
growth. It just came, wow, winner. What next? Oh, bamulipirira studio time, a record, what next? But when you go through the process, even if you are left alone, it's a story, a kind of sensitive story about Mondo music. There are a few artists that managed on them by themselves.
Because,
when Mondo closed.
Because Mondo was doing everything for them.
Yes. They just call you to say there's an interview at this radio station and what. So even when it comes to your interview at Phoenix, probably there's no even friendship or there's no vibe. Because someone who's doing that is someone else. It finishes it that.
Yeah.
When that goes, now you have to have a JK mentality to keep on going. You have to have an Israel mentality to keep on going. So it's always the process. When you serve it on a silver platter, it destroys the character and it even limits the growth. But when they know the process, that it's not easy to just reach there, they become complete artists. So I hear what he's saying. I like what he's saying. I might be supportive of what he's saying. I just want to put him in the right mindset as he does it. And prepare quite a lot of things. My daughter, Claire, who's in university now, is when she's starting to deal with hatred. What comments people would throw on her father. So now I have to sit down with her to say, Claire, I receive insult when I'm on stage from people or on my social media or anywhere. I receive hate. I can manage to fix that. So it's a lesson that now we are going through, because for her, she feels like, no, you can't say that about my dad. I need to fix this. So it's quite, so
it's very difficult.
It's a process, yes. So my kids are very talented and they are pushing, and for Changwan Junior, that they come from the mother side is also like a vast talented, like talent is just there on them. There's Flexview Mali from that side. The mother sings also. The young sister to the mother, Francia, is an actress. And so for them, talent is just there, part of them. To have a dad who is also like me, and I also have siblings who are like, so I think it's a disaster really for my kids.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Then it is a disaster.
Yeah.
All right, so Petersen, as we wind up, there's a young gun out there that would like to be like you. What would you say to him, looking in that camera there?
What? Okay, so with the newer ones, it will be, I'll put it like an example, but yeah, as an advice. When you are there and you want to make it big, you wish you could feature Chilewan or Your Maps or Dismo. But you cannot really approach them or actually have that opportunity to record with them because you are nobody.
Mhm.
When God blesses you to have a hit without them, that's a time for you to go to them because now you've got something to point at. That will make it easier for them to work with you. The biggest mistake with the younger ones, what they make, that once they have a bigger song that is playing more than Your Maps or more than Chilewan or more than Dismo, they start thinking, he is my competition. When he should be the person who's teaching you what you should do now that you've got a hit. So as an artist, as a newer artist who wants to get there and you're finding it hard, the day that you have a hit, don't use your hit as a tool for competition with those that are established. Use it as a tool for creating opportunities and opening doors. I'm talking like that because I have benefited a lot from that mindset. When I was at my peak, winning Best Male Artist of the Year 2008, and everyone is talking about Petersen, it was the time that I was able to walk to Danny, humble myself, talk to him as an elder brother, walk to MC Wabuno, talk to him as an elder brother. Ozzy could be my age mate, but because he had experience and knew it better than I had before, I was still able to walk to him and talk to him as the big artist he is. Humility and knowing your position is always good. Fame is something that is hanging out there. It will never be part of you. No matter how much they play your song in Sinjembela or Sinazongwe, you'll never get tired at home. There's no connection.
Zagaze, we've got a question for you from our previous guest. The question says, what more? By the way, I'll give you an opportunity to ask any random question to the next guest. You don't even know who the guest is. Even when they were asking, they didn't know it was you.
Okay.
So the question is, what more can we do as a nation, collectively, for our youth because we continue to struggle with issues of unemployment?
That's deep. Unemployment is as a result of not really having a lot of means of production or where people can work, for example. So as a nation, we need first and foremost to make sure that we promote entities that are owned by Zambians so that whatever it is that they achieve can trickle down to other people that are connected to them. Before we have it, we have a bigger spider web and we have more companies and more industries to employ. We need also to make sure that every development shouldn't happen in Lusaka. If you are from Mansa, build that preschool in Mansa. Don't come and build it in Lusaka. So that a teacher in Mansa does not see a reason of traveling to Lusaka to look for employment because there are already preschools that they can work for in Mansa. So the more we decentralize, the only reason why we move away from where we earned, come and fight for one thing and we realize that there's no employment because almost everything is here. But I think decentralization, what they call in developmental economics as agglomeration, is what we need to do. We should have a lot of industries outside Lusaka. There is nothing wrong with putting the the plantation for a juice in a place, let's say, for example, just in Sinda, it can travel the same way it travels from Lusaka to all places. It can also travel from Sinda to
other places.
Yeah.
Petersen, we'd like to thank you very much, but just before we close, what's your question to our next guest?
That is off guard.
Any kind of question.
Wow. Oh. What do you think was the most defining moment that happened in your life that cleared everything for you to reach where you are today?
Okay, great. I think the team has noted that one down. So, Petersen, we'd like to thank you so much.
Thank you very much for
sitting down with us.
Thank you so much.
You told quite a very interesting story.
Yeah.
It's nice to sit and just listen.
Is it?
You know, yeah. So it's been one of my favorite conversations, and I appreciate it, and I wish you all the best. Obviously, in your music career that you carry on to do, as well as your political career.
Thank you so much.
I hope that one day, when you make up your mind, when you feel you're ready, everything is going to go as planned.
Yeah, of course. When in politics, when you put your house in order, there are no two ways about it. It's not a game of luck. It's a game of work. Nice. There's no luck there.
Great.
Yeah.
This has been the Kenny T One-on-One podcast, brought to you by Yatu Tea. If you like what we do, drop us a like, drop us a follow on Facebook and YouTube as well. Remember to hit that bell button on YouTube so that every single time we upload a new episode, you get that notification. My name is Kenny T. I'm back again next week, same place, same space.